Hello, my name is Jim Lee, and I'm the Senior Minister at the Unity of Las Vegas, and I'm so glad that you are joining us. And if this is your very first time, I have a sincere, heartfelt welcome for each and every one of you. Just to give you a little bit of idea of who we are a spiritual center that's steeped in love, and we follow the truth. Simply put, you're welcome here, and thank you for joining us. Well, we are in our fourth week of a series on what it is to be a spiritual pioneer, a light worker on the planet today. And we're embracing the very heart of a spiritual pioneer, and that is one single word, and that is faith. So, as we remain open now for some new insights on faith, we can see how it can transform us. Now, I know that a lot of us have probably heard a lot of talks and lessons on faith. In fact, I've done quite a few myself. But this hopefully will give you some new insights so that you can have potent and power in your faith that can transform your life and transform others. So the lesson titled today is Journeying on the Living Edges of Faith. So order of services, special reading by Don, music by John Jones. I will do the lesson, and then Lisa will bring it on home with a meditation so we can experience it in our life. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, my name is Don Fouts, and I love Unity of Las Vegas. Unity has provided me strength and wisdom and is the foundation of a very wonderful life. I am very happy to be here. Today's special reading comes with an affirmation, and that is, I have faith that I can do all things. There is nothing to limit what you can do when your faith is centered within. Whatever any man has ever done or can do, you can do. Those who have done great things have had faith in themselves, faith in their own indwelling spirit. To have the assistance of spirit, choose to do that which is in line with spiritual things. Being in alignment with spirit, having faith in truth, wisdom, joy, and abundance, puts you in the frequency where you can expect and you will receive spiritual cooperation. You can do whatever you can perceive. In spiritual consciousness, you will know what is yours to do. There are no forces or powers ever that can thwart or hinder what you are capable of. Your faith in your God-given ability causes the very power of God to work in and through you. Such faith causes everything to become obedient to the divine in you. Your unlimited faith will reward you. The compensation will be as unlimited as your faith has been. You will see that in which you have faith brought into manifestation in a way that will cause you to marvel at the goodness of God and the fullness of God's unlimited abundance. And so it is. And this quote from Christian Healing, nothing shall be impossible unto you if your faith is in spirit and if your work is in harmony with divine mind. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Don. I love the part where you said, your faith in your God-given ability causes the very power of God to work in and through you. That's such a powerful statement, my friend. Well, good morning, friends. Hope you're well and filled with faith and cheer this morning. In case no one else has told you yet today, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light of Christ in each of you this morning. We're looking forward to seeing you in person on Sunday, June 13th. That's just 2 weeks from today. More information is coming to let you know how that'll transpire. And in the meantime, join us today after this program at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in our community Zoom room for a little catch-up and to check in with your Unity of Las Vegas friends and family. If you don't already have the login information, the instructions are in the description box below. We'd love to see you there. Now, in light of the message in Lisa's meditation this morning, I've written a song about faith. Specifically, about faith believing in the things that you can experience, but perhaps not see. It's entitled, Faith in Your Heart. Enjoy. Would you stand on the edge of a vast divide and not be afraid that you'd fall? Or are you more like the eagle who spreads its wings to soar high above it all? The composer of life doesn't write the notes, she frames the spaces between. Faith is the substance of items desired, the confirmation of things not seen. Are there roads you desire to take on your path, but the goal's always just out of sight? Maybe you're the racer through leaps and bounds who advances toward the light. Perhaps it's not yours to know the fuel to be used or how to construct the machine. Faith is the fabric of things desired and the proof of the things not seen. Just have faith, little one. Just have faith. Through the twists and the turns, the ups and the downs. Just have faith. Just have faith, little one. Just have faith. Let your heart be your guide. Enjoy the ride and just have faith. When your world is on fire and out of control, who can you count on to trust? False prophets abound and they're always around saying, here, you have to, you must. Better listen to your still, quiet voice, a lock that has only one key. Faith is the matter of what you desire, the confirmation of what you can't see. Trust in faith, little one. Trust in your faith. Through the twists and the turns, the ups and the downs. Trust in your faith. Trust in your faith, little one. Trust in your faith. Let your heart be your guide. Enjoy the ride and trust in your faith. Trust in your faith, little one. Just trust in your faith. Let your heart be your guide. Sit back, enjoy the ride, and just trust in your faith. You can stand on the edge of a vast divide and not be afraid that you'd fall.
Thank you, John. Great song. Trust in your faith. My beloved, we're living in some very interesting times. We're in a world of uncertainty that's filled with lots of chaos. And when you look at the events with the human eyes, it appears that the kingdom of heaven or the new paradigm of love and peace and harmony is in a distant realm somewhere. It seems like it's far-fetched, it's almost impossible to manifest. It seems more likely that we will have hell on earth than heaven on earth. There was a story of a man walking on the beach when he stumbled across this lamp. So he picked it up and looked at it and said, wow, this is an interesting little thing. He just happened to rub on it, and sure enough, poof, smoke came out of it, and the genie appeared. And the genie says, your lucky day. You have one wish. What would it be? And the guy had been watching a lot of television, and he was there saying, oh my goodness, hey, can we just have some peace in the Middle East? Can we have the Jewish nations and the Palestinian nation get along in harmony? And the genie thought for a moment. He says, you know what, man, I've been locked up into this bottle for a long time. Give me a little break. Give me something a little easier, something that I could work with. And the man thought and said, okay, I wish this. I wish that my mother-in-law would love me, listen to me, and follow my directions. Genie scratched his head and he thought for a moment and he said, now who were those parties in the Middle East again? For you see, some things may be difficult for the genie and not able to do certain things, but we have a genie inside of us and it is called faith. And it is the key to us manifesting things that we never thought were possible, but we have potent power, faith within us. And today we're going to go inside this faith and look at it from some different angles so that we can be exposed to this wonderful genie inside of us called faith. And the backbone of this is a scripture from Hebrews that we're going to unpack, and is taken from Hebrews 11:1 from the King James Version. Simply this: faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Now, this scripture is familiar to most of us, but I just want you to know that this scripture is both a definition of faith and a description of faith. I want to take a look at this. Faith described. So when we really take a look at this scripture, especially from the Greek from which it came from, anyone who wanted to emphasize an important word in Greek, the potency of a sentence what they would do is they would put the most important word first. Well, guess what? In this scripture, the first word and the most important word is a two-letter word, is. Before the scripture says what faith does, it really talks about what faith is. And faith is substance. Take a look at this now. Faith is substance. Substance is a tangible and real presence, is something that we can stand on, and you may even equate it to foundational. Faith is a substance that is solid as a rock. And when you live by faith, we are not walking on shifting sands. We are actually standing on a solid rock. Faith is substance, an actual, tangible essence. That's the first thing that I want us to take a look at to realize that it is alive and tangible. Now, faith is the substance of something, and it is this: things hoped for. Let's take a look at hope. Hope is not wishful thinking, and it's not what I would say rooted in fantasy. Faith is grounded in a desire, and it comes from this Latin word, desire, which is of the Lord. So this hope is grounded in the spiritual reality that's actually in the spiritual realm. It's actually in what we call the quantum field. Some people might call it is an idea in the divine mind of God. It is actually real. And so in addition to this, faith is substance. It's anchored in a hope that is actual, not an idle concept, but hope taps into something that is in this other dimension. Some people call it the fourth dimension. Then the other thing about this substance is coming from the Greek language. The word substance means legal guarantee. For you see, faith does not say, I am going to get this or that. Faith actually says, I am that substance already. Faith lives in the present moment and is aligned in what we call a future possibility. Faith is substance of that hope that is real right now. Now, the other part of this wonderful scripture is this, and that is this faith is the evidence of things not seen. Now, the word, what we would call evidence, is really a legal term that means conviction. So faith sees the invisible, but also it hears the inaudible, and it makes the intangible a tangible reality. It becomes the evidence of things not seen. Oh, now let's put it all together, because this is alive here with some action. If we can just incorporate it now in our lives, because we're actually conditioned to think that evidence comes from seeing, and seeing is actually believing once we see it. Well, this is from another point of view. In metaphysics, it's just the opposite. Evidence comes from believing, and believing in our mind, believing but also in our hearts, really creates the opportunity to see. So believing is seeing. The great prophet of old, Flip Wilson, says, what you see is what you get. Well, depending upon your faith is what you see and also what you're going to get. So now, I know that some people say, I don't know if I have enough faith. I'm going to need some more faith. How do I access this faith? Well, you have all the faith that you need right now, and so do I. We came loaded and coated with all the faith that we need. We're not lacking that area. We give you an example. And this bottle of water, I believe that it is safe. I could take a drink, and I have faith in this wonderful water. To get here, Lisa and I drove. We had faith that our car was going to be able to get us here. Both of us have had vaccinations, and some of you all have had the vaccine. And we have faith, and we believe that it's going to support our body in resisting the virus. Now, this faith depends on what we have faith in. I just want you to know something. This water that I drink, it's a possibility it could be poison. As I was driving here, the brakes could possibly fail. And the vaccine may not work for everybody. But we do something different here. I'm not talking about putting our faith in external things and conditions. I'm talking about putting our faith in the divine, into absolute love that never fails. There is an anonymous quote that I like, and it goes like this. A bird sitting in a tree is never afraid of the branch breaking because her trust is not in the branch, but in her own wings. So we have faith now in our wings of love that's within us. The question is, where are we going to point this faith? We're going to point it in outside conditions and things and have our faith that the government is going to work right, that everybody's going to do the right thing. That's not where I'm talking about. Where our faith and our hope really is, it is in the substance of God itself. Now, the whole purpose of faith is not for us to be able to do some hocus pocus and perform miracles. It's not for us to just go around and just try to make things happen. But this faith that I'm talking about and the purpose of it is to align us, to have us in coherence with the Almighty, which is the greatest miracle of all. That's the purpose of our faith. And so faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence, check this out, the evidence of things not seen. So I'm inviting us today to direct our desires and our heart's desires and align it with faith, and faith means we believe. Now, these are the steps. First thing that comes along is not to go from the ego trying to create something. We are now to take a moment, go into our prayer and meditation, open ourselves up to what God has for us. Hear that message, that heart desire. Then we take that, that's what we're hoping for, and then we use our faith, which is the actual substance of that. And once we align with that, we get in touch with it, that's actually the divine. And the divine and I and all of us, we're co-creating together. The faith is not a one-sided equation. Faith brings in our willingness to point it in the direction of the Almighty to connect, and then the Almighty connects back. That guarantees the connection. So we're going to move forward today. Take a look. What's in your mind? What's in your heart? Believe that not only is possible, don't be persuaded by the outside conditions, circumstances that's going on. Take a look and be present to walk by faith and not by sight, so that we can transform our lives, and more importantly, we can transform others. And this will transform the world, so we finally can start the process of having heaven on earth right here and right now. And so now we're going to go into a wonderful meditation led by Lisa, who will guide us into an experience of this faith.
With faith, we find as light workers that we are called into a kind of sacred alchemy, where we are not merely having a desire for love-based outcomes, but directly experiencing their reality in the spiritual realm as valid evidence of their existence. The Bible verse that Jim mentioned, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen, beautifully depicts this. As sacred alchemists, we hold in our hearts this connection between the unmanifest and the manifest realms as one continuous energy stream of varying vibrational frequencies. And in this, we begin to see the divine everywhere we look. We learn from Cynthia Bourgeault that the secret of our spiritual purpose here on earth does not lie in how successfully we manipulate the forms of the material world. Rather, it lies in how we are able to set them aflame, to reveal the inner quality of their aliveness. The names of God lie coiled within the physical forms of things. Our particular and uniquely human task is to spring the trap and set them free. They cannot manifest apart from the material world, but neither will they manifest automatically within it, unless there is a further act of conscious transformation. This is our job. This ability to sense spiritual substance as something that is alive and real, and as valid evidence of that which is to come, is a key capacity for us as spiritual pioneers ushering in a new paradigm. So this will be the focus of our meditation today. Together, we will excavate these names of God lying coiled within the physical manifestations in our lives as we journey on the living edges of faith. So I invite you to find a very comfortable way of sitting and begin to focus on your breath. This beautiful exchange that we have with our bodies and with the universe. And just to take in this beautiful breath and allow it to fill every crevice of your physical being. And with it, just experience the relaxation, the centering. And now just allow this breath to move into your subtle body, which is your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. And experiencing the breath there, centering, focusing, relaxing. And now breathe into your expanded selves, this beautiful part of our being that was in existence before we were incarnated. and will continue to be in existence after we depart the planet. Notice the breath's ability to harmonize, to synchronize all of these parts of our being. And just sense into the different textures from the most material parts of yourself to the most ethereal. Noticing the different densities. And just breathing into the fluidity of flow between them. So imagine yourself now standing in the doorway of your house that leads outside. You can hear the sounds from both inside and outside of your house simultaneously. The voice of the birds and maybe the hum of the refrigerator. You can breathe the air of two realms at once. Notice the scent of the air coming from inside the house and the scent of the air coming from outside. They are different, and yet you have the ability to take them in simultaneously. Are you inside or are you outside? In the doorway, you are in the liminal space of both, and both realms are accessible to you. Now imagine you are not only standing in the doorway, but you are the doorway. You are the opening through which anything inside of the house gets out, and vice versa. It passes through you. You are also the liminal space where the spiritual world meets the material world. Imagine now the spiritual realm on one side of you and the material world on the other side. Sense into the spiritual realm's pure light. Sense into the softness emanating from this light. Its permeable warmth drawing it to you. Sense the texture of its substance that is non-material and yet so palpable, so alive and real. Sense the threads of your faith woven into the very fabric of this substance, nurturing it as you bear witness to its validity. Sense now that it is brimming with new possibilities, and sense its willingness to reveal itself to you, to pour itself into you. And now sense into the realm of form on the other side, its towering mountains, rushing rivers, and vast variety of living beings. Notice how this realm fills your five senses and invites them to play. Notice now as the boundaries between who you are and what's on either side of you become thin. You are a powerful, sacred alchemist, activating this manifestation from the world of spirit into the world of form through the power of your faith. As you gaze upon the world, you excavate the names of God lying coiled within the physical manifestations, springing the trap and setting them free. Bring attention now to your heart and bring to mind one of your heart's desires, something you very much wish to see in the world that is not yet in manifestation. This desire is both yours and God's, existing in the realm of spirit and also inside of your heart. In your mind's eye, sense its flow from the formless world through your heart to the manifest world. Notice that as it becomes more material, that its essence is the same. From the realm of spirit, through your heart, and into the world. As it flows, its essence exists in all three places. Sense the wholeness that's there in this, the profound connectivity in this. Take a moment to fully sense into its manifestation in the world. Take in the experience of full manifestation in your mind and heart. What is now happening because this is in the world? What is now possible? Allow yourself to feel all the feelings and think all of the thoughts that accompany the realization of your heart's desire. It lives in form here on earth, but also in your heart and in the heart of God. As above, so below. Sense into the groundedness and assurance that comes in this deep knowing. And breathe in the truth that this is the way it really is.
So thank you, Lisa. Great meditation today. And so in this wonderful field of energy, step forth with faith. Faith is your genie to create and manifest what you want right here, right now. So you can join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. to 11:30 Pacific time for our special fellowship time. So please join us. We would love to have you. And if you're standing in the need of prayer, Silent Unity is there 24 hours, 7 days a week, just for you. And we appreciate all of your financial gifts and offerings and prayers that allow us to continue and sustain and maintain us. You can do it a couple of different ways. You can hit the donate button on our website, or you can pull out the phone, text us with a special text number, and you can give that way. So as we move forward today and just really bless ourselves, but also bless the planet, let's close out with the prayer for protection. As it comes up on the screen, let's say it together. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. God bless you all.
Let your heart be your guide. Sit back, enjoy the ride, and just trust in your faith. You can stand on the edge of a vast divide and not be afraid that you'd fall.